Today on Running to Him.
Watch out for jealousy. It will only lead us into pain. Today we will read Numbers chapters 9 through 12 and concentrate on chapter 12, 1 through 9. Numbers chapter 12, 1 through 9 says, Then Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Cushite woman who he had married, for he had married a Cushite woman. And they said, Has the Lord indeed spoken only through Moses? He has not spoken through us as well? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very humble, more than any man who was on the face of the earth. Suddenly the Lord said to Moses and Aaron and Miriam, You three come out to the tent of meeting. So the three of them came out. And then the Lord came down in a pillar of cloud and stood at the doorway of the tent. And he called Aaron and Miriam. And when they both come forward, he said, Hear now my words. If there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, shall make myself known to him in a vision. I shall speak to him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my household, and with him I speak mouth to mouth, even openly and not in dark sayings, and he beholds the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant, against Moses? So the anger of the Lord burned against them, and he departed. Well, we can do many sins before God, but one of the worst sins is a sin of jealousy, because it is closely tied to lust. And let's pause and think about that for a moment. How is jealousy closely associated with lust? Well, jealousy comes from a desire to have something another person has. For example, Eve lusted after the fruit of the tree in the middle of the Garden of Eden. God owned that tree and told Adam and Eve that they could not eat the fruit of that tree. Now, I believe that had they followed that command, God would have ultimately allowed them to eat that fruit, because frankly, there was nothing distinct about that fruit, but rather it was a test as to whether or not they would follow God's command. Eve was jealous that she couldn't have something. And Aaron and Miriam were both jealous of Moses. Miriam was upset that Moses had married a Cushite woman, and so she and Aaron focused on that anger, projecting that Moses considered himself more significant than they. It was a similar sin to the sin of Nadab and Abihu when they brought strange fire before God. So God brought Moses, Aaron, and Miriam together and spoke to them about their relationship with God. God spoke to Miriam and Aaron in visions, but with Moses, he spoke face to face. Interestingly, verse 8 tells us that God spoke mouth to mouth, a fascinating picture of God's face-to-face relationship with Moses. Now, the result of their jealousy was that Miriam became leprous, and when Aaron and Moses saw what happened to Miriam, they cried out, asking God to heal her. Now, I believe it was because of Moses' crying out to God that he relented, and he told them to have Miriam stay outside the camp for 7 days. Then she would be clean. How do we react when we see some very wealthy Christians and we look at them as being no better than us regarding their relationship with God? We become jealous because they have a nicer car or a nicer house. I knew of a couple who were able to take a 6-month cruise. Several people were very insanely jealous. God deals with each of us individually. Indeed, we all have a basic working relationship with God, but we also have an individual relationship with Him. God has allowed friends of mine to do some things that I would love to do, but up to this point, I have not been allowed to do it. If I concentrate on those things, my relationship with God suffers tremendously. The person who is happy with their relationship with God is the person who is content where God leads them. To paraphrase Dietrich Bonhoeffer, only those who are content are happy, and those who are happy are content. So watch out for jealousy. It will only lead us into pain.
Thank you for listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. You can use either Facebook or YouTube to like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. If you would like to contact us, you can reach me at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.